All right, well, I decided to challenge Auto Park and have him park me instead of me parking me. And he found a space. I don't know why we're here though. This is not the right place. All right, so 11. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't count that right. So I had a friend send me a text, but she likes her audio text, which Tesla apparently doesn't know how to handle correctly unless I use my phone to start it. Right, so I have to pull over on the side of the road or pull over into a parking lot, get away from my car, and listen to her text. What a pain. Okay, whatever, peace and harmony. So it's been 28 miles, used 7 kilowatt hours. So that means roughly around 44 minutes. Yeah, roughly. 244 watt hours per mile. Okay, so what did I tell you about this? Yes, it's my first full day back with FSD. Yay! How wonderful. I'm sorry, that's not the right attitude. Yes, I'm very glad to have FSD back. I'm just getting kind of tired of listening to these people who go like, yeah, 12.4, 12.4.1 is not ready for prime time. 12.3.6 is not ready for prime time. And yet that's what they ship to most people. Right? And that's exactly what I have in my car right now. 12.3.6. Okay? Is it great? No, it's not great. Is it okay? Most of the time it's okay. Okay? It's just, come on. Alright, so whatever. Coming off Bowman Ford, turning right on to 1431. FSD has the right idea of, hey, let's go around this slow traffic, go to the inside lane and shoot by him. He has the right idea, but he doesn't know how to execute it. Given enough time, yes, he can get to the left. Given enough time, yes, he can accelerate to 55 miles an hour. But for some reason, there are places where you go like, well, how do I do that? Yes, I'm talking about you, Tesla and Elon. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. Okay? But there are people who are like, oh, yeah, no. What goes on my car is not the same thing that happens in your perfect cars. Now, to be fair to Tesla, when I called in for service, they had a list of things that they were going to do. And it basically involved pulling all this apart and looking at the cameras, recalibrating the cameras. And then there was something about looking at the low voltage system. I don't know, do I have low voltage? And I don't mean low voltage as it's a 12 volt system, right? Maybe it's not really pushing quite enough amps. Possibly. So that's where I'm struggling. Like, so I already texted them and said, should we cancel it because I finally calibrated? But when I go back and think about what they had on their list, it makes sense that those things should be done. Okay? The 300 whatever something dollars, it'd be money well spent if it makes things better. Okay, whatever, peace and harmony. So as we approach the place, I mean, we already came into the speed zone for the construction zone, which really isn't an appropriate place, but that's the way it is with these people. Okay, I don't know, they put that sign way over there, and it was the end of construction if you're going westbound. It shouldn't be like this. Okay, whatever it is. So I have a Ram pickup coming up on me. He's actually in the outside lane. He's one of those people, oh, I'll show you. I don't believe you should have to go 45 in a 45 construction zone when it's active. Yeah. Especially when Jonestown doesn't have Jonestown cops. Yeah. That's the reason why DPS was out there the other day. I'm guessing one of the construction trucks hit a wire and it started falling down onto the street. And so they had a DPS trooper out there to keep an eye on traffic because it was a dangerous situation. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. They actually had a guy sitting in the front of a I wanted to call it front loader, but it's not what it is. Okay, whatever. They put him in the bucket holding a 2x4, holding the cable up. Yeah. These guys are really good. Yeah. Scary stuff. Whatever. Peace and harmony. Anyway, come up on this construction zone. FSD doesn't like it when people gets close behind them. FSD says, "Hey, we could go in the outside lane. The road's closed ahead." I'm sorry, what? No, brake on FSD off. Send a less than nice message saying, "Try looking ahead. The road's closed." But that's the thing. As long as traffic's cooperating, you don't have a problem. As soon as traffic starts crowding you, FSD starts falling apart. At least that's my judgment. No, that's fine. Come down to Austin and we'll take a drive together and you tell me what it is. I have no problem with that. Okay? So it's already starting out this way. He's having problems going speed limit. He's having problems with, that truck is moving kind of slow. Maybe we should move to the left to the inside lane and go by him. He's having problems with that. So several times, brake on FSD off. That's okay. I'll move the car for you. Even going to the right. No, that's okay. I'll handle it. I'll take over. I'll move the car over for you. I get it. It's a horrible, horrible thing to have to be able to handle it. Maybe some people shouldn't be driving cars. He looks like one of them. Sorry, there was a car I went by and the guy in the car he's going looking straight ahead. Although he's not running anything, but he's going really slow. But it's better you go slow than you go fast like some of the other people are. Okay. One of the things I noticed going through Jonestown is, so the Ram truck that was following me close and was going so fast, when we went through Jonestown, he forgot he was going fast. He's actually going slower than me. Okay? But FSD sees him crowding his lane almost on top of the dividing line. And FSD, no, I'm going to stay back here. I don't want to be anywhere near him. At least in that case, I understand what you're saying. I get it. I think you're being a little over conservative, but I get it. Fair enough. Okay. Sorry, it was Bucky. He came flying up, and all of a sudden he got in front of me. He go like, "Wait, what? Where am I going? I don't know. I forgot." Yeah, typical Ford driver. Yes. Peace and harmony. Yes, squirrel. I miss you, Michelle. Whatever. Peace and harmony. Okay, so there's he's going out the other way. Maybe that's why it slowed down. He didn't realize it was going to go southbound. Yeah, it's hard to go southbound when you go northbound. Whoops. Like I said, he's a Ford driver. Okay. So anyway, there's a mix of all these various things like this. There was, we ought to just call them out now. As we're on Anderson Mill. As we're coming up to 620, I'm just in this line of cars. The car in front of me is going a bit slow, of course. So there's some cases where FSD, in his conservative view of things, blocked me out from getting in front of slower traffic. But I mean, it's just the way he looks at things. I think, I would like to think he's actually thinking about it, but I'm not so sure sometimes. If he had a brain, he would make more logical decisions, I would think. Peace and harmony. I mean, this is still a C performance, right? I'm making it sound really bad, but most time it's actually fairly good. Oh wait, I wanted to call out that Jeep. I never got close enough to that Jeep. Okay, so sidetrack a little bit. There's a Jeep from Tennessee. It has Tennessee plates. Probably not from Tennessee. He probably lives here in Texas. But you know, those people are like, well, I have to re-register my vehicle within 60 days. That's state law, but nobody knows the difference. Yeah. Yes, my mother used to turn in people like that to the police. The police got tired of her. But they used to care about those things long ago. Now it's more like, who cares? They have registration on their vehicle. Yeah, okay. I mean, a bunch of people, when they move in, they don't get registration right away. Right? That's the way it is. Anyway, so this Jeep, in what to me is a Cherokee, but you know, have you noticed that Jeep doesn't really have those nameplates on the back anymore? So you kind of have to guess what it is. It says 4x4. So I never got up to the side to see what was on the side, because sometimes they say something on the side. But anyway, as he's going by me in the inside lane and I'm in the outside lane, all of a sudden I see that he is right on top of that line, right next to me. Oh my God. You know what's worst? You know, Becky, what's worse than Toyota drivers and Ford drivers? Jeep drivers. And I remember this guy, we're at a EV thing, demonstration thing, and he's talking about how safe his Jeep is. Jeeps, any vehicle is only as safe as the driver driving it. Okay? As long as you have an attitude of, if I run into you, it's okay, it's an old piece of junk vehicle anyway, then I'm in trouble. Yeah. On the other hand, you might want to check with the insurance, see if their coverage will cover totaling my car from all the damage you would do if you hit me. Yes. And that's what insurance companies do now, is if it gets over a certain level, they're totaling the car. And if the battery electric, if they have any clue that the battery may be compromised in any way, they're going to total it. So let that sink in for a moment. If you were to run into my $40,000 car, are you prepared for that expense? Is your insurance company prepared for that expense? Will they keep carrying you if you do something that's stupid? Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony. Let me get off my soapbox. Anyway, today driving into 24 Hour is a mix of, this is all crazy, what are you doing? But there's a lot more traffic. Then again, it's lunch hour. So that's part of the problem, is it's lunch hour. Okay? Anyway, so far, I mean, it's not that it's bad, it's just not great. I already gave you the, no I didn't. I was thinking about it, but I didn't tell you. I touched on it. Okay. So there was one new version of FSD 12.4 that was supposed to be a magical rewrite. The public beta testers, if you want to call them that, said, oh, this is really bad. Okay. So they've come out with a 12.4.1. And they're still going like, no, this is really bad. was there another version in between? Or did they go straight from 12.3.6 to 12.4? Anyway, yeah, I touched on it. Anyway, the question I have for, let's just send it directly to Mr. Musk, is, you know, how bad is 12.4 or 12.4.1 compared to 12.3.6? I mean, your actions tell me it must be really, really horrible. And yet, I've seen a mix of different opinions on YouTube. Sorry, I use YouTube. I get it. Some people, oh, X is political statements. I mean, some people I follow are also on X, and I'll look at their stuff on X if I happen to find it. But to me, X is a jumbled mess of stuff, and you have to go search. And I don't want to have to go search. I want to present it in logical order to me. I can't do that. So it's almost useless. Okay? Then again, I'm not a paid subscriber. Why would I pay for this? On top of that, I have to get political stuff, and you know, like there was one guy who claimed that a certain event wasn't real. Got taken to court, got judgments against him for millions and millions and millions of dollars, which he'll never pay. Although he had to admit in court, you're right, I lied. That's the win for those people, is, yes, he admitted to lying. Yes, Elon reinstated him on X. Because he goes, oh, I'm such an innocent little boy. I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. Me? No, I wouldn't put him back. I wouldn't want that political lightning rod on anywhere near me if I want to present myself as an honest, above board person. As soon as you let him in, you're saying you're not an honest, above board person. It's that easy. Now, I don't think that's what Elon's doing. Elon's saying, oh, you deserve a second chance. Yeah. Okay, whatever. So, there you go. That's some pretty strong opinions of how I feel about X. Is X a bad thing? No, if you like X, use X. But for somebody like me, no. What for? I have got on X. I have looked at other people's stuff, but you haven't seen very many posts from me on X. Okay? So there you go. Peace and harmony. Onward, upward charge. Oh, it's going to be a long video today, isn't it? Okay, just capture this. I'm going to leave the car running in camp mode while I'm at the gym, and we're at 60%, and it is 1:12. We'll see what happens when we come back. There you go. There's some water flowing out from underneath my car. All right, here we go. It's almost 4, so 3 hours later. We're at 52%, so that means we use about 8% battery. Just run camp mode for 3 hours, which sounds like a fair amount, but you might notice that it's 96 degrees outside, so it's pretty warm. Okay, so not bad. Anyway, onward, upward. This was just giving me an idea. Now, usually I expect camp mode overnight in relatively moderate temperatures to be about 16-18% over 8-9 hours. Okay, this is running in the middle of the day. Anyway, the point is to see how this guy holds up, and looks like he's doing pretty good. Okay, kept this bottle and another bottle just like it. Cool. Okay, not cold, but cool. Okie dokie, yes, FSC's back with the warts and with all the good stuff. Anyway, 28 miles, 46 minutes, 219 watt-hours per mile. Seriously. All right, total trip 56 miles. For all you ice people out there, 13 kilowatt-hours, which works out to what, $1.43? And 231 watt-hours per mile overall trip. Wow. Okay. coming out, so navigation, I love when navigation does this. Navigation, I was going down Jollyville to Duval, or actually Oak Lawn, I think. I'd much rather go down Jollyville. It's quieter, less traffic. It's not that there's no traffic. There's traffic there, but it's not Madhouse US 183 traffic. Okay, so that's great. For some reason, I think I had to do a brake on FSD off coming out onto Jollyville. Just, it may have been more precautionary, but it just didn't feel right. Okay, but it's getting better, but it's getting better and better as I'm about to slam him. Right, so coming up onto US 183. Oh, so at Oak Lawn, apparently they've closed the inside lane from the perspective of westbound traffic, and so people who are making U-turns can just get in that lane and then move over, which makes more sense. But it kind of caught FSD off guard because he went across these solid lines blocking him out of it. And I don't blame him. I didn't know it was like that either. It's a complete surprise to me. Now I've seen it, it's pretty obvious. Getting up onto 183, for some reason he's kind of wanting to road race the car that he really should be getting behind. But think about it later, this lane, the lane that we're in, actually continues for a ways, so he didn't have to get over. On the other hand, there's a Range Rover that came charging up and then realized he had no choice but to get in behind us, and so he's like, I want to go, and he can't go anywhere because FSD is purposely blocking him. Okay, maybe not purposely, but FSD is blocking him. Brake on FSD off, move the car into the lane I know I'm going to have to be in to make the exit ahead. Okay, once we're there, FSD says, oh wait, I can go a lot faster if I move over to the middle lane. California road rager, baby. Yeah. Okay, turn off the turn signal. It gives me a little menu. Press the menu saying minimal lane changes. You win. No, I don't want to have to keep looking to my left all the time to see whether or not it's safe to move over. I know you did the computations, but I don't trust you all the time. And you go out of your way to earn that lack of trust. Okay? All right, so whatever. Peace and harmony, it's all good. What do I want to say here? Coming up, actually getting out at Lakeline, other than sometimes he's charging the car in front of him, sometimes he's holding way back. So I'm not sure what the following distance is supposed to be here. And my impression is FSD doesn't know either. That's the way he's acting. Come on, man. Figure it out. You're supposed to be the expert on this stuff. What? Yes, you have nowhere near the years experience I have. You're right. But by the AI process, you're supposed to be getting far better education than I ever got. Of course, I got all real world, but the videos going into FSD are real world. Just obviously they're not the best picks. But Elon seems to think that they can go thousands of miles, whatever it was he said, between interruptions, at least all week. I can't even fathom that possibility. I know that somewhere over the horizon, there's going to be some magic that occurs. But like I said before, for some reason, my car is not good enough for 12.4.1. It must not be very good. Because I think 12.3.6 is far better. That's pretty scary. Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony. As we're rolling up towards Lakeline Boulevard to make our left turn, I see that the inside lane is going to move just a little bit faster. Brake on FC off, move into the inside lane, re-invoke FST, and FST very quickly says, oh, I want to go to the right. No, not now. Just stay in this lane. I wish you had a mode that said, I actually do, minimal lane changes. But I have to select minimal lane changes every time I start a drive. If I want that. I can't go in the FSC and say, you know, I would rather you did minimal lane changes. As a rule, it's not even in the realm of possibility concept for the big thinkers over at Tesla. You know, if you think 12.4.1 is better than 12.3.6, you should be dropping it. And if it's really that bad, maybe you need to rethink your approach. But you always have to remember, it's the mix of videos they're running through training. Okay? If somebody, oh, that video looks good, let's throw it in there, and that video turns out that it sees flashing yellow lights, it better stop. See, somebody's not going through all the videos and making sure they're lined up correctly. And that's a really, really hard task to do, I think. Yeah, I'm not saying it's easy. And I sure don't want that job. Okay. So anyway, on Lakeline Boulevard, because of FSD's, oh, I think I'm going to stay way back from the car in front of me, brake on FC off, I take over. I'd actually drive all of Lakeline. And once I get out on 1431, I'm in the mode. Actually, what I have is I have a Lexus in front of me. It's frustrating. Don't you love those cars where, okay, they're in the inside lane and they're going slow. Finally, there's space you can get over and go by them, and then you find that they're matching your speed, and it's 10 miles an hour faster. Why couldn't you do that before? As it turns out, he's just going to turn left up here, so it's not like he's really road racing. He just doesn't want me to pass him, which is a form of road racing, actually. I don't know. And as it turns out, he has like 4 cars right behind him, so there's no space to get in anywhere except for the last car. When the last car goes by, then I move over. But in the meantime, they all go like, oh, wait, what? I think it's 35 here. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Once we're up in the construction zone, FSD back on. Let FSD handle this slow traffic. Why not? That's what FSD is good for. Or one of the things FSD is good for. Okay? Follow the traffic. Of course, when we get to the end of the construction zone and it opens up into 2 lanes, driver turns on the right turns, why don't we move over to the right? Normally, if it was FSD's idea, oh, he'd want to move over immediately. But because the driver said, let's move it to the right, he says, no, wait, that's not a good idea. Brake on, FC off, move the car. That's the way it is. Okay. There's a pickup that comes flying up, goes around, and this is near the top of the hill where it's the end of the official end of construction. And he gets over in front of me, and about that time, I'm hitting the scroll wheel up to come back up to traffic speed because we're no longer in construction zone. It doesn't have a 55 sign there yet, but it's the end of construction zone, so 55 takes over again. Yes, on going eastbound, they still have 45 because they get that 45 really early, and they shouldn't. Anyway, peace and harmony. Almost catch up to that truck almost immediately. I don't know. There's a car that's kind of following that traffic, and he comes up next to me, and it turns out he's going to turn down the Discovery Destination Way. It's just when he gets to the point where he's blocking me off from getting over, that's when you go, oh, I should be going this fast. Just go. Just go. Whatever. It is what it is. But he turns. Another car following him turns. And then there's another car coming up. And at first they're coming up like fast enough that they're going to block me out. But then all of a sudden they realize maybe they shouldn't. I don't know. Whatever it is, all of a sudden they're not coming up to block me. FSD moves over. This time FSD moves into the turn lane. No wishy-washiness, moves into the turn lane. Sounds like somebody had a talk with Mr. FSD. Maybe slapped him around a little bit. Good. Okay. On the other hand, when it's finally our turn to go onto Loman Ford, the traffic light is yellow. FSD throws up, I think he throws up the red steering wheel, hands on the red steering wheel, and starts going, okay, brake on FSD off. I'm already pushing on the accelerator to keep him moving. I'll take over. I get it. You're making a left turn on a yellow light. I don't know if I can handle that. Okay. Yes. This kind of stuff is irritating. And at least if I was on 12.4.1, I'd be helping move the mission forward, so to speak. Instead, I'm stuck babysitting a piece of junk that is not the future. There's no reason for it. Well, I get it. That's okay. Yes. Instead, I'm here bad-mouthing Tesla and FSD. I hope that's exactly what Elon wanted. All right. Coming down Loman Ford, there's some traffic that was kind of around me, and they accelerate away just enough to get away from me. Beautiful. Perfect. Gives me space to just cruise. And that's far better. Coming up at the Mobile, is that what it is? Chevron. Turning onto Boggy Ford. At first he starts moving into the turn lane for the gas station. But before he actually does, he straightens back out, centers in lane. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. So we make our turn, no problems. Other than the traffic in front of us is going a little bit slower. But we're on Boggy Ford, just put up with it. Of course, Lindbergh Lane, and we talked about this before, right? He's turning on his right turn signal to tell you he's going to stay on Boggy Ford, essentially go straight. But he's turning on his right turn signal to tell you that, which comes on before Lindbergh Lane. And no matter how many times I send the message, there's absolutely no clue. Other than, of course, obviously, I'm guessing those guys have moved on. Like I said, why am I babysitting this software? It's not the future. I'd much rather have something that's maybe not quite as baked, but at least is somewhat of the future. Although the future is actually 12.6 or something. It's too far away. And when Elon says, oh, we can do this, he means like something like 12.6 or 12.7. Right? That's too far away to even be talking about when I'm still on 12.3.6. Okay, whatever. The good news is the car has suddenly remembered how to turn into my driveway. And like I said yesterday, I think the trash can being at the end of the driveway kind of threw him off. Okay? Trashman came before I went to 24-hour, so we got it all straightened out. Okay, onward, upward. You know, as much as I'm complaining, it's not going to be C+ day. It's going to be a C-. It's getting more and more, as good as it is, the things where it goes stupid, it goes stupid. And it's not even real stupid, it's just, well, if I go really slow, then cars have to get in front of me, and that means I'd slow down even more, so that's a better solution. Because they're getting road ragey, and they probably would hit me. But, well, you know, if you just kept up with traffic, they wouldn't get mad as much. Right? I had a guy in a Camry who came rolling up to me at Nameless. Oh, he stayed on my bumper for half a mile. Until finally the cars in front of me took off a little bit and I was able to accelerate up a little bit. Right? But what do you want? It's a Toyota. Okay. Peace and Army. The grade's a C-. Let me go back and try to figure out what do we call this Jeep and what is his numbers. Okay? And because he had a roof rack on, he had stuff on, you know he's not making that gas mileage that it's even rated for. Okay, onward upward charge. All right, time for our ICE comparison notes. To start from the beginning of this, 56 miles covered a day for 13 kilowatt hours used, 233 watt hours per mile on average, for those of you who talk electric. All right, so, and I said I was going to do something on a Jeep. I think what I'm looking at is a Jeep Compass, possibly. Not sure, but that's what I'm looking at. All right, so 13 kilowatt hours, $1.43. So basically half a gallon of gas. So your Jeep Compass, the combined mileage is 27 miles per gallon, which means he can go 13 miles compared to the 56 miles we covered. Okay, yes. Okay, there we go. So going back to this Jeep, the reason why I picked the Jeep Compass, well, there's multiple reasons. One, this guy was being kind of a jerk. I mean, really, he was. But the other reason is, and I mentioned this before, when I was at a EV presentation, there was this guy there with his Jeep Wagoneer, whatever it was, and he was talking about how safe my Jeep is. It's very safe. Okay, so I already know intuitively it's not as safe as he's saying it is. He just feels like it's safe. Just like people like to say, oh, my Jeep is very American. Okay, is it really? Now, I didn't go look at every Jeep, and I know somewhere there's a Jeep that's more American produced. But then again, a Honda, what was it? There was a Honda Pilot. After Tesla, it was one of the most American-made vehicles in America, because their plant is there in South US. Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony, it's all good. So this Jeep Compass, or Jeep Compass Sport, I guess, 2-liter 4-cylinder. Okay, 27 miles, we already covered that. The tank is 13.5 gallons, which gives you a combined range of 100 to 0 of 364 miles. Compared that to a Model 3, now this is the Model 3 long range, 341 miles. Yes, I'm not going to compare it directly to my Model 3 Performance, but my Model 3 Performance is rated at 300 miles. Despite being a sports car in nature, if you want to call it that. Okay. But then I started digging into this, like, okay, Jeep Compass, they have 6 speakers. Well, the base level Model 3 has 9 speakers. Okay, Jeep Compass has 5 seats. Model 3 has 5 seats. It appears with the back seats down, the Jeep Compass can fit 59.8 cubic feet cargo. At least that's the way I'm interpreting it. Compare that to 43.6 for a Model 3, which is actually a sedan. It's not even any kind of SUV, and it has a trunk, not a hatchback. Okay, gross weight. This one surprised me. Your Jeep Compass, 4,800 pounds. My Model 3, 4,541. Are you kidding me? It's 250 pounds lighter. But remember, state of Texas charges me an extra EV registration tax because my car is so heavy. And yet the Jeep Compass beats them easy enough. All right, towing capacity. Yes, Model 3 loses this one. Towing capacity 2,000 on the Jeep Compass. Towing capacity for a Model 3. Now you can't officially get towing on a Model 3. If you want to tow with a Tesla, you go Model Y, go Model X. Well, and then obviously Cybertruck. Okay, so Model 3 officially isn't able to tow, but there are people who sell the tows, the towing packages. Okay, AC on your Jeep Compass is manual. I guess you can move the stuff around. I don't know. The AC in a Model 3, automatic. Yes, you set a temperature and then Tesla does whatever it has to do to maintain that temperature for you. Interestingly enough, dual zone? No, not for Compass. For Model 3, yes. Rear HVAC? No for Compass. Yes for Model 3. Okay. DC output. So basically cigarette lighter ports. The Compass has 2 of them. Interestingly enough. Model 3 only has 1. Rear seat. Heated rear seats, right? They don't have heated rear seats in the Compass, but they do in Model 3. Of course, it kind of depends on what Model 3 you buy, because some Model 3s, the base level rear-wheel drive, in some cases, it has to be an option. Okay, let's go to the safety part. Okay, so the overall safety rating, Jeep Compass, 4 stars. What's the Tesla Model 3? 5 stars. And the year they tested it, 1 overall. Frontal crash, 4 stars for the Compass, 5 stars for the Model 3. Rollover. You're driving a Jeep. One of the things Jeeps are known for is going off-road. I don't know if you take a Jeep Compass off-road. But anyway, if you roll over your Jeep Compass, it has a 3-star rating on rollover accidents. Model 3, 5-star. Okay, so there's a bunch of plants listed that make Jeep Compass around the world. So the most likely, if you're driving one in the United States of America, chances are the plant that manufactured that Compass for you is based in Mexico. They didn't give a city, but they said Mexico. The Model 3 I'm sitting in right now, and almost any Model 3 you can find in the United States of America, well, they might have some demos from Shanghai. Okay, there's only 2 places that make Tesla Model 3s. One's Fremont, one is Shanghai. All right, so any Model 3 sold brand new in the United States of America was made in Fremont. Okay, one of the most American-made cars. Now the latest ratings had, I think, them down to 21, but they've also been experimenting with some battery sources that are outside the United States. Now, when my car was made, it was Panasonic at Nevada. Okay, but there you go. Just sharing this. Safety? Come on, you're not safe. American made? Well, it's part of the North America, 3 countries. Close. I mean, if you think of America as being United States of America, no, it's not. If you think of Mexico, United States, and Canada as being America, then it is. Okay? Anyway, onward, upward charge. It's just, I mean, some places, yes, this Compass is beating the Model 3, but the Model 3 is not intended to be a vehicle for towing, right? Where else did they beat it? Oh, the Model 3, as heavy as it is being beat out by a Compass being heavier. I'm not sure that's necessarily a good thing. It may mean it's a stronger frame, but these are basically passenger cars. And yes, the cargo space, but you expect that because the Jeep Compass is basically an SUV. The Model 3 is just a sedan. Anyway, there you go. I just thought that I'd share that. So many people say, oh, my car is safe, or it is the safest, whatever they say. Okay? Go to the, what is it, Insurance Institute Highway Safety or something like that? Go look it up. No, don't trust me to tell you what it is. Go look it up yourself and see how it rates. Okay? Yes. Is it starting to sink in now? Tesla's one of the best cars you can buy if you can get over the political position of somebody associated with Tesla. And as I always say, I didn't buy my car from Elon, I bought my car from Tesla. Onward, upward charge.